And when he kills Dajjal, فَبَعَثَ اللَّهُ يَأْجُوجَ وَمَأْجُوجَ فَبَعَثَ اللَّهُ يَأْجُوجَ وَمَأْجُوجَ. Ba'atha means to raise or to send. It could not be to raise because they were already raised. They were already created. They were already committing fasad on the earth. إِنَّ يَأْجُوجَ وَمَأْجُوجَ مُفْسِدُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. So you have to eliminate raised. The only other meaning is send. So after Nabi Isa alayhi salam kills Dajjal, then Gog and Magog are going to be sent. This is the clash. This is the nuclear war. This is every town and every city going to be destroyed at that time. This is not released. This is send. Release is over there in the Qur'an. وَحَرَامٌ عَلَى قَرْيَةٍ أَهْلَكْنَاهَا أَنَّهُمْ لَا يَرْجِعُونَ حَتَّى إِذَا فُتِحَتْ يَأْجُوجُ وَمَأْجُوجُ. Okay? But they seem to have all understood that Ba'atha means that now Gog and Magog are going to be released. What poor scholarship is this? Terribly poor scholarship, yeah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I have a few questions. I think it's not complete if we are talking about the end of time and we are not discussing about. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I have a few questions here. Okay, I think it's not complete if we are discussing about the end of time and we are not talking about the army of Mahdi.
No, we are not talking about the end of time. It's that you was not on the end of time. It's that you was on the end time.
The end time.
End time, yes, not end of time. End time. Right? You know the difference between the two, right?
Yeah.
End of time is when you're going to have the resurrection or something. And the mountains are going to be like control or something. The end time comes before the end of time. The end time is the start. Yes, go ahead.
There's a hadith in Sahih Muslim told that the great wars of the end times, that the non-Arabs from the east will make the lucky army of Mahdi. They say that the army of Mahdi will rise from the east. So there's some saying that the army will come from Khurasan, which means east. But there's also people saying that the army of Mahdi will come from the Asian, which is Malaysia or Indonesia. Yeah. So there's also rumors about the Malay tribes is the lost tribe of the Bani Israel. So I would like to know your opinion about this.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. A very important figure or person in Islamic eschatology is Imam al-Mahdi. In Sahih Bukhari, hadith, كيف أنتم إذا نزل عليكم مريم وإمامكم منكم. How will you be at that time when the son of Mary descends amongst you and your imam would be from within your own ranks? He'll be a Muslim. Indicating that prior to that, the Khilafah will be gone. Those who are ruling you, Security Council of the UN, would not be Muslims. Indicating number two, that before the end, the Khilafah is going to be restored. Oh yes, it's coming back. And the modern secular state is going to return to the garbage bin of history from which it came out in the first place. When you're close to 70 years of age, you could talk like that. The modern secular state, with its blasphemous claim to sovereignty, the modern secular state which came out of the Judeo-Christian Zionist alliance, which gave us modern Western civilization, that modern secular state will return to the garbage bin of history from where it emerged in the first place. And the Khilafah will be restored. But number three, that the Khilafah will be restored at the time of the advent of Imam al-Mahdi. Hizb ut-Tahrir, of course, doesn't agree with me on that. The Khilafah will be restored at the time of the advent of Imam al-Mahdi. And that the advent of Imam al-Mahdi would be an event which would occur at the same time. The English word is a long word, contemporaneous. About the same time as the return of Nabi Isa alayhi salam. When Imam Mahdi emerges, then at that time, a Muslim army will liberate the Holy Land. And it will come from Khurasan. But the Gog and Magog conflict would have occurred before that. So Israel would have lost its nuclear shield. And the Muslim army that now liberates the Holy Land would not have to face a powerful Israeli army. Rather, the Jews are going to be on the run. On the run. Because the hadith is La tuqatilunna al-Yahud, this is Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. You will fight the Jews. Of course, Harun here has another different, very foolish view of the subject. Very, very, very foolish view of the subject. The Jews are going to be on the run. La tuqatilunna al-Yahud. Wa la taqtulunna, and you will defeat them. Hatta yakulu al-hajar. In fact, I believe Harunia here's view must have been scripted by the Israeli Mossad. Hatta yakul al-hajar, at that time the stones will speak. And they say, Ya Muslim, hadha Yahudiyun warai fata'ala faqtul. There's a Jew hiding behind me, so come and kill him, meaning they're going to be on the run. On the run. So the Gog and Magog conflict would have destroyed the power that today supports Israel. How much time do we have? It's possible for us to make some plausible guesswork, you know. Of course, knowing that we can be wrong, but we won't be wrong by much. Israel is about to take over from the United States. Israel has to wage big wars. The Arab uprisings are meant to prepare the Arabs for that slaughter. Maybe a year, 2 years, that's all. When Israel takes over from the United States, Israel has to rule the world for a day which is like a week. And at the end of that, the Dajjal will then appear in person as a human being. How much time do we have left for that? 15 years ago I was saying about 50 years. Oh, they laughed at me in New York. Oh, they laughed at me in New York. Imran Hosein has finally gone mad now. But they're not laughing anymore now. 15 years ago when I said the US dollar is going to collapse. Must collapse. No other scholar in the world was speaking like that. But I was speaking that because of Islamic eschatology. So they laughed at me. But nobody's laughing now. So I may have just a little bit of credibility when I say, well, maybe another 25, 30 years left for the emergence of Imam al-Mahdi. But you must be certain that as soon as Israel attacks Iran, they already have an Imam al-Mahdi prepared.